Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the fourth president of Republic of Kenya, has been the busiest man for the last 1 week. And a snapshot at his itinerary in the last 6 days paints a man that people are really looking after. And in this podcast, you're going to get exclusive intel into what exactly the Western nations have been trying to tell Uhuru Kenyatta, and he has said his answer is no. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for those who support us, and as we close the year, I just want to say thank you very much for supporting this podcast and our charity programs. 3 significant guests have visited Uhuru Kenyatta, and these guests have been raising eyebrows with members of the public asking, what do you think the Western powers are telling Uhuru Kenyatta? Just like any other Kenyan, Uhuru Kenyatta is free to associate with anyone, contrary to some pedestrian thoughts by a section of politicians that will not even want to entertain. And it started on Wednesday. These photos were shared when the office of the fourth president hosted Wigan Nail, the new British High Commissioner in the country. And after the meeting, these photos were shared, and you can see what happened. That was on Wednesday. Then on Friday, the same week, which was on 8th, former President Uhuru Kenyatta again hosted Meg Whitman, the US ambassador in Kenya. Those two, and I'm told there was also another one by the representatives of the European Union. Apart from that, today, that is on 11th of December, the Chinese ambassador visited the former president in his office in Nairobi. So these meetings, of course, have been shared with outright coming clearly that the Chinese ambassador was even inviting the president to attend the Kenya-China celebrations that is supposed to be held around Westlands, that is the coming Thursday. But these meetings have been coming at some political context, why Kenyans have opted to analyze them politically. And the context here is, the context that people have been talking about is the NADCO report fallout. Because Uhuru Axis, Eugene Kijerema-Kioni and Martha Karua have been disputing the report, and allegedly the rejection of the report is being led by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They have actually vouched for the report to be rejected in total, while Raila Odinga and the team, and there is another axis of Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka, that are supporting it partially, saying that it is a beginning of the bigger picture. But even political observers have been seeing this as a way to maybe get some ceasefire between the former president and Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, exclusive reports from Uhuru's inner circle are actually telling a different story. And what is inside here is that there is an inside push by the UK and the US to partner with the office of the fourth president, Uhuru Kenyatta, and it's seen as a funding, maybe it's a funding partnership, so that they can run peace projects in Kenya and also in the East African region. If you look at the description, the Twitter description of the office actually being held by Uhuru Kenyatta, by the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, this is the description of that office. I think you need to get that. His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, CCGH, is the fourth president of Republic of Kenya AU Kenya Peace Envoy and facilitator of the EAC-led Nairobi peace process. So what they have actually been vouching for is for them to fund the office of the fourth president so that they will run some peace projects, some peace programs in Kenya and also the East African region. Now, the envoys are looking at, and this is what is coming, they're looking at the upcoming DRC elections that is coming on 20th December and are vouching for Uhuru Kenyatta to lead the East African delegation in overseeing the process. Not even the East African, but the European Africa Partnership delegation to lead the elections there. In fact, they want Uhuru Kenyatta to be the eye of the European powers in that election. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta is not very new to that terrain because he's been the peace ambassador. He's been the peace facilitator. And that is what is called the Nairobi process in that area. And the superpowers, the UK and the US, are vouching for him to lead that delegation. This is an excerpt from that article. As election day approaches on December 20th, the government-aligned forces are battling the M23 group. This is the situation in DRC, which UN experts claim is backed by Rwanda. This comes on top of the decades of war sparked by overall overspill from Rwandan genocide in 1994. An estimated 6 million people have died since, with nearly 7 million others displaced. Widespread insecurity has left more than 1 million without voters' cards. Now, there is something about Uhuru Kenyatta on this space that I think many may want to get, and you cannot despise him, is the fact that at his reign as the former president, when he was a president, at one point he was actually the chairperson of East African Community. And he has a rapport with nearly all these presidents, starting with Museveni, the DR Congo, the Burundi, the Rwanda, Kagame, and even Samia Suluhu. So being that he was in charge, he was at the helm of the EAC, East African Community, he stands a prime position, and that is what the US and the UK are seeing as his stake, or rather his competence to address, to do this. Now, Uhuru is reported not to have embraced the deal, even though his office is underfunded. And experts are also seeing that that move could be, the US and the UK are seeing they're just exploiting a loophole, because it is a situation where the office of the fourth president, apart from the Nairobi peace process, the global peace activity, it's supposed to be funded by the exchequer, because it's part of the ex-president's package for that office to be funded from the exchequer. Contrary to that, government has been reluctant, Ruto administration have been reluctant in actually fully funding the office of the former president. Now, despite of those financial loopholes, Uhuru is reported not to have embraced that deal because of some reasons I want us to look at. Now, you want to know the essence, the deep interest in this. In February, Uhuru Kenyatta cancelled a trip to Dubai after some of office itinerary, some of his protocol officers were reduced, when by that time I remember the minister who was in charge of foreign affairs, Alfred Mutua, saying that they are trying to implement some austerity measures that had been put into place by President William Ruto. And so the office of the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, was one of the offices that was affected. Remember, he's been getting, there was a bit of some funding that he had gotten. And I remember he was speaking at one point about when there was some mishap during the Nairobi process, when he was saying that he participated in lobbying for the funding to support the EAC projects. So this is something that the US are trying to push strongly, and I'm looking at it this way. The US and the UK have been vouching strongly for Uhuru Kenyatta, for William Samoei Ruto. And of course, if you look at the partnership and engagements, there are more photos and more engagements between the US, UK with Uhuru Kenyatta than even that with the former premier. But why are they making a U-turn and going back to Uhuru Kenyatta? I want to explain that because on these two, using these three reasons. Number one, There is growing goodwill from Kenyans on Uhuru Kenyatta. But then let me tell you, Ruto is the man making Uhuru Kenyatta very popular than even the time he was the president. You know why? He's made life so difficult and has made Kenyans to see that Uhuru Kenyatta's era was the golden years. You know, I've been seeing politicians trying to explain that they're taking the country to where Kibaki left it. And I've been asking, so how many of us will even remember the time Kibaki left? Now, the generation Z now in 2023 do not really relate, unlike some elderly members, some senior members of the society would understand. But again, time has lapsed. You know, that is, since Kibaki left power, that was more than 12 years, I think 11 years. So not many of us in this country will even remember. And what the image, the picture that people have close home is that of Uhuru tenure. So these US powers are seeing very well that William Ruto administration is becoming unpopular and Uhuru Kenyatta is enjoying popularity and goodwill from Kenyan and even across the globe. You know, because of that, they're watching for that office. Number two, the handshake ideology. And I may just need to take this moment to repeat what I've been telling my viewers of the bold here. If you've been ranking member of this of this channel, you will understand that I've been saying that the handshake ideology that was hatched between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga in 2018 was it is something that it's a principle that was set. It is a standard that was set that can be emulated. And it is something that can be exported. Now, what these people are seeing is they're trying to ask Uhuru Kenyatta to export that. And that is one of the reasons why they're heading it. Remember, this is one thing that the current crop of leaders, out of short-sightedness, out of ignorance or lack of the same, have been trying to portray that it actually affected government and it killed Uhuru Kenyatta Mojo in government in the second term. But other sectors will also tell you that Uhuru performed better even during that handshake. Number three, I think they're vouching for Uhuru Kenyatta to soften the NADCO headline. And many believe that the headliner in the NADCO report is actually Uhuru Kenyatta. And I will look at that. That is going to be my video tomorrow morning. And I've been trying to put pieces together. I don't want to delve more into that because tomorrow I'm working on something on it. Now, Uhuru Kenyatta is reported to have rejected that model, that bill that is being pushed. And in my own opinion, I am seeing three reasons why Uhuru Kenyatta is saying no, thank you. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. Make sure you watch that part of the video because I know many of us are waiting to know what exactly is it. And you can also tell me. And by the way, before I even explain, when do you think Uhuru has opened his doors? You know, when you talk to editors will tell you that that office of the former president, not even many people know where it is. Not many people even know where it is located. So it's been a top secret because editors have been trying to reach out. Even those who are doing, I think I was talking to the East African, one of the writers for the East African newspaper magazine, and he was saying, we've been trying even to drop an email. They've not been responding. Now, the last interview they did, that was in July. But if you are a media house, the media houses here have been trying to reach out to Uhuru Kenyatta, asking for even an interview, and he's been unreachable. But abruptly, he has just opened his doors. Yes. And this is now something that I think we are looking at how the Kenya Kwanza team are coming out, will come out now to react. But then, I also want to tell you too, I will also want to see your reaction on that. Now, three reasons why Uhuru is rejecting the Western push. Number one, Uhuru is wary of Ruto ceasefire propaganda. You know, this is what is happening. As we talk now, there are a clique of bloggers that have been facilitated and are spending sleepless nights to try to dent the image of Uhuru Kenyatta. After Ruto team realized that Ruto's popularity is waning down, while Uhuru Kenyatta's popularity is rising. There have been attempts to attack the popularity, the person Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. There have been that attempt. And I think in any attempt, if Ruto will actually will take this, if Uhuru Kenyatta is going to take this, then this is going to be one of those, in one of these, probably sharing a podium, and the Western, because they are funding, they will actually be controlling what exactly you are doing, and they will try to push for some ceasefire. So I'm seeing that as number one, and the propaganda team will always, Ruto is still struggling for legitimacy, and he believes that if he's going to get the blessings of the former president, then all the question is being solved. Remember, even as we speak, Mount Kenya is still revolting about it. Number two, I think Uhuru Kenyatta do not want to get into a scheme of sanitizing William Ruto mess. There's been a lot of mess, and William Ruto has gotten into a mess, and the mess is just about clamping down, not even clamping down, just packing policies without a critical look into its objective, the objectives. We've just been packing policies. Have not been coming out to say what exactly we intend to achieve and whether we are within those limits. So when you bring Uhuru Kenyatta, Kenyans are revolting. It's true. Kenyans are revolting. And that is why I kept on insisting that the line of putting William Ruto on toes, that is the line. That is the line. It's not about, for me, I'm not even looking at those NADCO. It's about putting William Ruto on toes. That's number one. Number two, scuttle transition politics. And I want to take a minute or so, some 2 minutes, to expound on this. I have been saying here that Ruto transition starts in 2027. It can end in 2027 or it can end in 2032. But I'm guaranteed it's going to start in 2027. Now, Uhuru Kenyatta is one of the factors on Ruto transition outside. Uhuru Kenyatta is one of the players, one of the key players in Ruto transition. And when I tell you that he can be a kingmaker or a king breaker, it's very true. Some people say he's a kingmaker or king breaker. Now, what is going to happen here is, I think the Western powers, I'm seeing a possibility that they are seeing a possibility of William Ruto losing the popular vote, the next election, and for him, and Ruto has been so consistent in pushing the Western agenda. They want him. He is their president. But apart from Ruto being our president, Ruto is also their president. And is trying to reach out to Uhuru Kenyatta in a special way, so that they make sure if they can pull Uhuru Kenyatta out of the murky political waters in the political space and probably try to push him in the global stage so that Ruto can have the breathing space. That probably is my take on this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think, but I want to read your feedback. I'm waiting to see, and the country is waiting to see whether Uhuru Kenyatta will accept the invitation by China to attend the Kenya-China celebrations. They even picked a venue, the 2021, the China Conference Trade Center in Westlands, was launched by Uhuru Kenyatta in 2021. And maybe he's going to attend, because the reports are that he's also officially the China invited him there. And the China one is raising some questions because we have failed to get the loan to extend the SGR to Busia, not to Busia, to Uganda. And the president recently was in India after the COP28 to push for the same. So much to look at geopolitics. But on this one, Uhuru Kenyatta must just remain within the space. And for me, I don't support a move that will push Uhuru Kenyatta out of 2027 Ruto transition politics. Thank you. I have a date with you about NADCO, and I want to read you a report. I don't know, what do you think about, you are reading about what Karua is saying, Eugene Wamalwa, Uhuru Kenyatta, and Jeremiah Kieni. I want you to give me some feedback about this. As tomorrow when I will be doing that video, I will take in your feedback. Directly what you tell, I will share what you have said. So if you share in my WhatsApp or in that comments, I will share it in that video. So kindly, let's see. Thank you. Welcome to the Bold Analysis, guys. I'm this other side of Busia, Ebokai, as I had mentioned to you. And I'm here with Austin. So, Austin, unafeel aje?
Na feel vizuri.
Feel vizuri?
Yes.
Yes. Maze, how is it? How has it been? Stroke ilikuwa mwaka gani?
Stroke ilinianza 2017. Wakati nilikuwa Nairobi. Hali ya kutafuta. Na nikamaliza almost only 8 months. Na stroke ikakuja. Ikaniweka chini.
Ikakuweka chini.
Yeah.
In the bed for 3 years.
In the bed nimemaliza 8 months.
Nimemaliza 8 months. What? Now, sasa unaona ukitembea ni unaweza do nini? Because you are telling me about the posho mill. Unaweza vuta ifanye?
Hiyo posho mill kusiaga naweza siaga ama naweza mojua mkono yangu wa kushoto.
Kushoto ni gani?
Hiyo. Ndio inafanya kazi juu.
Hii haifanye kabisa?
Hii haifanyi.
Hata ukileta haiwezi
simama, haiwezi fanya kitu yote.
Oh, so inabaki venye iko sasa.
Iko tu hivyo. So kitu nafanyanga tu moja na mkono ya kushoto ni kuoga na yani vitu ndogo.
So kazi za nyumbani unafanya kama nini sasa?
Kazi za nyumbani najaribu na kulima na mkono mmoja, hii ya kushoto.
Ya kushoto.
Pale padogo pa kupata tu chakula peke yake.
Uko na familia, watoto wangapi na?
Niko na watoto 2 na baby mmoja.
So you married after stroke ama?
I was married after stroke.
After stroke.
Yani nilioa kama nilishapigwa na stroke.
Stroke was 2017.
Yes. Nikaoa 2018 mwezi wa 8. Na stroke nilipiga mwezi wa 2. Tarehe 10 na tarehe 8 on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
2017.
Hey, you really have the memory of what really happened.
Yes,
Austin, this thing changed everything. Hii stroke ilibadilisha kila kitu.
Ilibadilisha, ikaniweka chini, so nothing I can do now. Hakuna kitu naweza fanya. Hata watoto wako tu hapa sana, shida nitafanya nini? Mungu acha watoto. Juu hata Mungu anasema fanya yoyote lakini yende atamaliza. Sasa mimi sijui nianzie wapi na Mungu animalizie.
Wow. Austin, you know, there is one thing that I know when I was heard of your story, it really touched me kwamba there were family need and you just needed to have something. Sasa mama atakuwa anafanya, now if you will work kwa posho mill, mama atakuwa anafanya kwa?
Sasa nikifanya kwa posho mill, umejua hata mama alisema sasa kitu anaweza fanya, yeye anaweza enda kwa shamba kulima.
You can't run some small shop or something?
Anaweza
mbele ya hiyo shop because tumeona hapo mbele kuna space.
Hiyo ndio aliniambia anataka tafute pesa. Tupate pale pa kuweka duka, anaweza pata kitu chochote ya
na si tunaweza weka mbele hiyo?
Yes, tunaweza weka hapo mbele. Hata sasa hivi mimi naomba tu Mungu useme tu naweka shop hapa, anaweza furahi kwa roho yangu yote.
And we must do that. I think that is what is remaining. And tunashukuru Mungu. We are going to put it. Si hiyo space ya mbele ni kuongeza mabati, inakuwa na shade. Alafu unaweza weka something hapo so that wewe ukifanya ndani yeye afanye nje kwa shop. Auze hapo mbele. Wow. Yes. Austin, on behalf of this Bold Network, I want to say pole, and I know saizi usha heal, usha kwa strong, and this is something now that ni kama ushazoea ama?
Ni mazoea, but hata saa zingine pesa ya kutumia kununua dawa inakuwa shida. Saa zingine
bado unatumia madawa?
Waliniambia nifanye, lazima nitumie madawa.
Sasa za kama za
Siza kureduce your pressure.
Oh, you can reduce blood. Kitu ileta stroke ni pressure.
Mmoja kitu ileta stroke mimi sikuwa najua anything juu wakati huo sikuwa na pressure. Nilifanya kama nimetoka.
Ilifanya ulitoka wapi?
Nilikuwa nafanya tizi, mimi nilikuwa mtu wa kupiga mpira. Nilikuwa nacheza. After kucheza nikaenda kwa nyumba, nikirudi. After hiyo nikatoka nikaenda niko nafanya gym.
So ulipata kutoka kwa gym?
Sasa wakati nilikuwa kwa gym nikafeel kama mkono yangu wa kulia haina nguvu. Nikaanza kusikia kama kichwa imeanza kuniuma. After hiyo nikarudi kwa nyumba, nikawaambia watoto wetu. Tuko na watoto 3 niko naishi nao. Nikawaambia ati
wewe ulikuwa unaishi wapi?
Nilikuwa naishi Gomongo, Nairobi huko Gomongo. After hiyo nikafeel kama kichwa inazidi kuniuma. Nikawaambia wanimwagie maji kwa kichwa. Wakanimwagia lakini haikuwezekana. Mimi nilikuwa chukua simple ni kichwa tu inaniuma. Lakini nilikuwa nimezidi. After hiyo kinapiga chini. Memory ikapotea.
The next thing you realize ulikuwa hospitali.
Hospitali nikamaliza almost 4 months ndio memory karudi, nikajiuliza niko wapi.
Memory rudi after 4 months?
4 months. Yeah.
Wow. Something that is lifting in this story is that you still here, you still have a family, na hata kama una limp but you are walking. Inamaanisha literally hiyo side yote kutoka mguu na mkono, literally nothing is working.
No, I think it's not working. Yani everything disappear. But
huku naye ili survive. And the doctor alisema nini ilileta stroke?
Kitu ilileta stroke walisema huyu jamaa alikuwa anafanya chizi mingi. Alifanya mingi. Na wakati huo alisema mmoja watu wengi usema ikupigwa stroke ikikuja kwako ame ingie ndani ya mwili wako ni pressure. Mimi wakati huo sikuwa na pressure, sikuwa na anything. Yaani nilikuwa tu stable, ni kwa mtu wa stable man. Na kufanya vitu vya nyumbani, kukimbia asubuhi na kuenda kutafuta kitu.
You were working, eh?
Yeah, I was working. Yeah.
Niambia supermarket.
Nilikuwa yes. That one. Yeah. After you.
And I know, guys, that is why I wanted to come here. And by the way, I insisted nikuje, but I just arrived some few minutes ago. Na what we started ni wanapiga hiyo, like if you look in our background, that is the room. Hiyo ndio ile structure. So those guys there wanatengeneza nje, wanatengeneza the plaster, they're just doing the plastering. So we're waiting for the fundi kwa sababu ameenda kununua something. So immediately comes here, we're also going to engage him so that we know before I leave. But I think there is a lot that you guys, we believe you can still support. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm very sure tutamaliza, and whatever will remain kidogo, we are going to establish that structure so that your shop iwekwe. Okay. So I need anything that you have today before nitoke hapa, ni make sure hiyo shop tumeongeza stock. Whatever I think I'll remain with around some 15,000 or so that we'll put it, but I know that is not enough. A shop needs huge. So you can also reach out and send me anything you have now before nitoke hapa. Natoka hapa leo usiku. I'll be traveling tonight nikirudi, but I will just want that hata nikitoka by tomorrow morning, because we are finishing this fundraiser in this, by tomorrow morning anything you send me nimuongeze so that hiyo shop iende ifanywe hapo mbele. Immediately we are done with this. Asante
sana, nimeshukuru. Mungu awabariki sana. Tena kumpatie maisha mema wakati pale umekanyaga akupe kitu unatafuta. Asante.